Hello, this is Lori, and welcome to the Paint Girly channel. This is my June edition of hashtag Second Saturday Stash /7. Our fearless leader is Maria's Miscellany, and this month there's 7 items that I chose for us and my fellow artisans are to use. So I printed this on a little card, very professional here. I hand printed this just for you. June 2022, and I'd like for us to use a postage stamp, an embossing folder, some washi tape, a heart, a die cut of your choice, a business reply envelope, and cheesecloth. Cheesecloth is one of my favorite art things. Not so much in the kitchen, but in art. So let's get started. I have several projects that I'm working on. Oh, I just noticed I've been writing on my hand. I should have cleaned that off. Sorry, guys. So I have my supplies here. I've got some washi tape, my cheesecloth. I've got different die cuts. I've got my hearts. I've got my business reply envelope. I've got this die cut here. I have my little Cricut sitting next to me, and I have this embossing folder for some of you that may not be aware of what an embossing folder is. I've got my business replies, and I've got a collection of some postage stamps, not to be confused with an acrylic stamp. So some of the things that I've been working on my desk are making envelopes and putting them together and then using them as a signature in my journals. So I decided I'm going to do that with these 2 business reply envelopes. So normally what I do is I get 2 regular envelopes and I put them together like this, and I may either put fabric or washi tape. You could use paper. Today I'm going to use the washi tape. Now I've chosen just kind of a neutral color washi, and it's wide. See, I want this to be not real close together because if I use it as a signature, I want to be able to sew through, right? So this will bend and use that to attach it into my journal. Now I have found that the wider washi tape is a little more difficult to peel up and get a nice big piece going. And I should have probably done this ahead of time, huh? So, see, I've already got it where it's not coming off correctly. And I might have to go to plan B. Having no fingernails doesn't help either. So I want to welcome you in. Thank you for watching. I wanted to mention that you've got to make sure you watch all the other ladies. And the information will be down in the description box. Most of you are familiar with the routine. Now I have found that not all washi tape is created equal. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to put a little bead of glue down both sides of my envelope, just a little bit. Because if I do go ahead and use this in a journal, I'm going to stitch through that more than likely anyway. But just to be on the safe side. And I might do one side at a time. Now I have a piece of that tape on my thumb, and that's bothersome. Okay, I'm going to gently unwind. So if you have wide washi tape, oh, this is cute tape. Just take your time undoing it so you can get a nice long strip. I'm just going to pop that down. Try to get it as straight as I can, which ended up not being too super straight. Now I'm going to flip that over just to make it easier for me to. I'm just wanting to leave a little tiny gap, maybe about, what is that, about 1/8 of an inch. And I probably could have done a better job at making it equal on each side of the envelope, but that'll be okay. Because once it gets into a journal, I'm not going to really see too much of that anyway. Now I'm just going to add a little more glue on this side. And then I need to tear off another piece of washi, and hopefully it'll go as well as it did the first time. And I know some of the washi, just feels really sticky, and like you wouldn't need to put that extra glue. But I've had it come up so often. Just rather be safe than sorry. Okay. Now I'm just going to try to line this up with that tape on the back side. Right. And I'm really off down here. But I'm not going to let that bother me today. I'm just not. And I'm just going to trim that tape off. So right there, I've got 2 of my 7 items. See, when I put this in a journal and use it as a signature, I've got 2 immediate pockets. Now, of course, I would want to decorate both sides. So now to start, because on my list of items, I didn't really put any kind of paint or medium to put down. I think I'm going to scrape just a little bit of paint. And let me see what I have handy here. I have my little silicone spreader because I just want to cover up some of this business reply advertisement. Let's see, maybe a light green. Let's see, I'll just have some aloe color here from Americana Deco Art. And I'm just going to give a little spritz here and there. I love green. And that goes with my washi tape. Right? Cool beans. Cool beans. I could really have hit that with a little bit of water. That's kind of thick. But I do want it to cover. It might be a little too thick. And I don't want to cover up my washi tape either. Maybe a little scrape here and there. I mostly just want to cover that dark writing. Because the components I have to use today are small, at least the ones that I chose out of my stash. They are very small. I think I could use a little more. Now I'm just putting this on my substrate because, well, I didn't get out a palette. So that doesn't look too bad. And I'm going to get out my heat gun, which I have right here, because I want to put a little color on the other side as well. You got to kind of fit there on the corner. That'll be okay. So now this time, I'm going to open my little flippy flaps. Going to be a little neater, I think. And this just doesn't have to be the same as the other side. Just to give, you could use a business, no, not a business reply. You could use a expired gift card or credit card, piece of plastic, a palette knife, your finger. You could do this with a paintbrush, but I kind of wanted that scraped look. So again, I'm going to use my gun. The acrylic paint dries pretty quickly. So if you don't have a heat gun, you could use a hair dryer if you wanted to continue working, or you could just give it, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes. If you're not recording a video, you don't have to worry about any time constraints. What I should have done was open these flaps when I did the front side. Hindsight, as they say, is always 20/20. Woo! So let's just get some color on that flap. And I'm going to put a little bit on my silicone spreader. If you can get one of these silicone spreaders, they really come in handy. I use it for paint, for glue, and then once it dries, you just peel it right off, and it's good to go for the next project. Now, I have no journal in mind that I would use this for. But if you are working on a particular project, you of course would want to coordinate the look or the color with your project. I'm just going to take a little baby wipe here and clean up my painted area here that I've kind of got a little messy. So we'll just give that a quick little clean up. Now, like I said, I've got 2 of my items that I'm required to use. I think Maria only requires us to use 1. I like to use as many as I can. All right. Let's try that area. And then I was thinking, oh, you know, to use that, now you may not want to do this. But if you use an embossing folder, most times you would put a piece of cardstock or paper in here, run it through your machine, which I don't know that, I mean, I might do that. I don't know that I will at this point. I could, but I was thinking I could probably use it as a stamp. And I would just have to clean it, right? It doesn't bend all the way back very well. But I could use it as a random stamp, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Of course, I didn't think about this ahead of time either. Kind of working on the fly. So I need to get to my ink choices here. I think I might try an oxide, a distress oxide. Now I've got bundled sage, which I think is really just the same color as what I painted. Now, this may not work, guys. I don't know. But I'm going to see. Gathered twig, that's a darker color. That might work. But I also have, I'm almost sure, of course, the one you want is always on the bottom, right? My colors are kind of on the light side with the exception of Seedless. Oh my gosh, Blueprint Sketch. That's dark. What did I do with my... I'm pretty sure I have another green. Oh my goodness. There it is, Forest Moss. I also have the burgundy color. See, this is the problem with recording and not having a plan and kind of just freewheeling. I'm going to keep those three colors out just in case I decide I need to ink the edge of something. See, now the bundled sage is really kind of like what I'm using as a paint. And of course, this is more like a contrast brown. I might do two different things. Now, on the embossing folder, you've got a recessed edge and an edge that protrudes. So I'm going to use the protruding edge, hopefully, as a stamp. Can you see? It's kind of cool. Put some there, put some here, put some everywhere. Just kind of scrubbing that on. Now I want to make sure I get some on my flaps. And I'm going to hit this with my heat gun too. Because usually if you're using this, you kind of rub it on, you know, on it with using a blending tool. But this is a little puddly. So I'm going to hit that with my heat gun. It's still a little damp. Let me see if I can pick some of that up to help it dry a little quicker. I don't want to smear it. See, I'm picking up the extra like a blotter. Now let's dry it again. Now I think I can flip, so I'm going to flip to the other side, and I want to put some on this side as well. And maybe I should have put some paint on these flaps, but mostly they'll be closed in my journal. I'm getting a little heavy-handed there. Now, like I said, you may not want to do this with your embossing folder. But I'm just going to take my baby wipe that I have here. Let me put this, I'm going to put that in front of me for a moment and just take a little spritz of water. And clean that up. Now I'm on my best behavior because normally I would just let that dry. I would just let that dry in there. My gosh, I do not clean stencils and stuff. I'm really terrible. Really terrible at that. All right, I'm going to set that off to the side. And then we need to dry this a little bit. All right, now if I think about using this as a signature in a journal, as part of a journal, I'll have pages here and pages on the outside edge. So not every surface has to be the same. Right, so, and I don't want my video to be super long. So now that I have my substrate prepared, what I'm going to do is use and just decorate this one area because, let me see, do I have anything handy here that I can, oh, let's see, what do I have here? I think these are envelopes. I want you to make sure you're understanding what I'm meaning here. Okay, so say this is a page in a journal. See, so I'm going to have pages here, and I'm going to use this as part of my signature, and pages here, right? So they can be decorated different or the same. For me, probably different. So the other things I need to use are right here. Now the hearts that I have to use, I have a die cut that cuts that really nice long heart, which I just love that. But the list of things to use, a die cut was included. And what did I put my, when I originally made my list, I was thinking using the die cut itself. But then when I was sitting at my desk gathering my pieces and getting out my die cuts, I thought maybe I could use my die cut differently than I had planned. And so I thought, what if I trace that and use that as a tracing? Now I have a heart. Now I think my husband's talking to the dog if you hear another voice in the background. What if I use my embossing folder then on this heart? Say I'm going to use this pink heart. So I pulled out my Cricut. I haven't used this in a while. For anybody that doesn't know what a Cricut is, it's a machine that, this one is a hand cranked machine, and you can run a die cut through here to cut images, or you can emboss. So I'm thinking to put my heart and use the same embossing folder. And I think I want it this way. That I used as a stamp. Now, where did I put my, oh, here they are. So normally you have, did I not pull out? Let's see, I'm not sure. I haven't used this for a while, like I said. And I've got paper taped to my two boards. Let's see. So you're supposed to make a sandwich. Sorry, guys. I forgot I had this I was squashing flowers, and I was trying not to yuck up my plates, but I yucked them up anyway. I'm going to need my other. Yeah, that's way too skinny. I need my big. My plates are really beat up. I've had them for a long time. Let's see. I've got a C and a. Ooh, this might work. So I'm making my sandwich. I've got my pink heart in my embossing folder. And hopefully, I'm going to crank it through. It's a little too thick. It's not going. So I'm going to take my C plate out. Replace it with a thinner plate. And hopefully that's enough pressure to make an imprint and emboss that heart. It did, it worked, yay! Can you see that? All right, great. Okay, now I gotta get my postage stamps over here. And put my plates down. Now I'm thinking, how about if I use a little bit of this tattered twig to really, I'm just using a makeup brush. I went down a little too heavy. It's okay. Just grazing, or just trying to graze the surface. You can see where I got a couple of blotches. So I'm gonna see if I can rub that out. I'm gonna rub it out. So when you do that, you can see the impression of your embossing much better. Okay. I would like my edges to be even darker. So that'll work. Let's find a stamp. Some of these are on, it looks like most of these are on envelopes, which are really cool. I don't know where I got these. I'm trying to look for one that color-wise might work. Here's one. This might work. This is in the brown family, kind of the I can't tell because the stamp goes, it says Hella Vita, and the way it's stamped, and it's not stamped clearly. I can see the number 28, but I would think the year would be over that way, which I really can't see. So I want to lay out all my components that I'm thinking about using on my envelope, and I'm going to continue to use this Tattered Twig oxide ink. I could probably tear this a little better down here. So I have that, and it doesn't say that I only have to use one heart, so I was thinking I could use a couple of hearts. Now I have my glue gun plugged in. I like my glue gun. I know some folks don't particularly care for a glue gun, but I love mine. And it comes in very handy. Now this is a 3D embossed heart. Let's see. You know what? Let's get that bundled sage. Clean off my brush a little. So these are kind of cool because it's not just a flat image. This little heart looks puffed. I don't know if you can see that. The screen is really a nice light sagey green. If I go in the shadow, yeah, you can't really tell. Now, if I think about using this in a journal, I might want to have some kind of a pocket. Wouldn't I want some kind of a pocket? Oh, look at this heart. This works with the colors. I've got a bit of a sunflower on there. Let's grab that gathered twig again. Let's see if we can get some ink the edges of that. This might be good for a pocket. Oh, look, it's coming off. This is a napkin. I found this in my stash. It's a napkin decoupaged onto a piece of cardstock. How cool is that? I didn't know I was so clever. Now, the other thing I like to do, and that's not in our instructions, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because I think we're allowed to. I'm going to get out my script stamp, and I'm going to stamp some script handwriting on there. Let's see. Now that would, of course, be just a little pocket. And this is because I was so rough with it. I was thinking it was a piece of cardstock. Isn't that funny? I'm going to just re-glue that down. Okay, so the puffed heart is not really working for me. But I could put that there, make a little tag, have a little tag. Now I wanted to use this die cut. Now with this, what I'm working on, an egg die cut, it's not really going to work. So I'm going to use this and trace it. And I'm going to trace it with my blue Stabilo because a lot of the girls are using the Stabilo and then smudging it. So let's see if I can, sharpen this up a little bit here. All right, now I'm going to take these pieces and lay them off to the side. Let's do a sample. What if I trace the outside? What if I did something like that? See, now this is supposed to be a Gerber daisy, and this is supposed to be a 3D cut too. This one's a little better. What if I did something like that and then smudged? I'm going to need something wet. Oh, I could use maybe the end of my... That'd be a little too much out of control. Not sure the blue is going to be the best choice. Not sure about that. I did have my Stabilo All. Let's see if that's still here. Because that's more of a black. It's not more of a black. Oh, look, it's right here. It's not more of a black. It is a black color. What if I stamped some words? Or just use the top part of that die cut. And let's see, I should have a watercolor brush here somewhere. That one's square. I don't think I want to. Let's try this one. That might work. And I could use this as a pocket as well. Let's use that stamp again. Okay, we're going rogue. This is the fun part about sitting at your desk or your work area, wherever you craft, and just start doing things. And then it all starts working together. Now I'm putting that twig, gathered twig on the outside edge. And now I'm thinking maybe I want, oh, let's see, I put everything back. I was thinking a pink, or I don't have a peach. I've got orange. I've been loving orange lately. I know I have, I think I have a tattered rose, which just would give a little blush of color and kind of would work with those little hearts. Oh, I'm sorry, it's called Victoria Velvet. That's the one I'm thinking of. Let's see if we can get a little bit of, just a little bit of pink. With all this white, my camera is flashing out. All right, now I need to decide where I'm going to place my circles. The other thing you can do with these, and you may not be aware of this, I'm going to take a little bit of this spiced marmalade and I'm going to put it on my work surface. And I can take my water brush and pick up some of that color and put that in the center of my flower. And then I want to make sure I clean off my brush. Okay. Here we go. Let's start seeing if we can assemble some of this stuff. See how it looks. All right. So maybe I'll put this flower here. We'll just see. I know I had my other heart there. I could tuck those. I don't want to lose this heart because this is going to be my pocket. If I want that to be a pocket, maybe I could bring this down a little bit. And this could really stick off the edge of the envelope because, see, it's going to be inside of a book, right? So that might not be a bad idea. Now, where's my postage stamp? What did I do with? Here we go. Put that there. So I think what I want to do is come back with my script. And just pop some of this down on my substrate. Okay. That looks kind of cool. And I think I want some inking on the edge. Kind of brings your eye in to what you have going on in the center. Now, if you've ever worked with, this is reply envelope, they're not very sturdy. All right, so now I'm going to put my flower up here. So, I don't know, we're just going to go in with it. Oh, here's my lid. I like to keep those covered if I remember. So I'm wanting these little drawings, if you will, to stick out above or be behind my Gerber daisy. Maybe I should have had my camera up. So I'm coming in with my water brush. And I'm just going to deepen. Bring that color out a little bit. Not really a color, just kind of a shadow. Then I might try to erase those inside lines. Let's do this one, and let's do this one. All right, so I'm thinking I'll do my heart. All right, I have my eraser here. You know what? I'm going to hit that with my heat gun. In hindsight, I would try to not make those lines, but I wasn't sure how I really wanted it to look. So that erased okay, so that's good. Now see this? I think I can work out a little more. So I'm going to put that there, tuck this here, and then I'm going to put my stamp down here and my other heart here. And I think I want this heart maybe just stick out behind my stamp. And I don't want to glue that all the way down because I want to use that as a pocket and make a little tag of some sort that I'll eventually put in the pocket. Cheesecloth. Still need a bit of cheesecloth. Gosh, I got something sticking on the end of my thumb. It's driving me crazy. A pair of scissors would be lovely. Do-do-do-do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now I could add buttons. I mean, you could just continue on, right? So that's what I'm thinking I want. So let me use a little bit of this glue. I'm going to start here, and I don't want all of that glued down because I want to be able to slip something behind it. You can get really fussy with the cheesecloth. You know what? I think I'm going to knot the bottom. I'll tell you why. Let's see what I have in here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Ouch, I've got a little bulb pin. And a little button. I have a little charm here, too. Well, that's a Buddha. I don't want a Buddha on this. Okay. This is a button with a shank button. So let's see how that might look. It might work. So I'm going to just pin this onto the knot. Am I driving you crazy yet? Just put a little. You got to get the glue stick down there so it works. Now I want to be able to see this, so I'm going to glue that knot. Down like that. And if that gives me too much trouble, I might glue the end of that button. I know this is the right size glue stick, but I can't seem to get that to go down. Oh, heavens. I'm mostly using that hot glue so it sticks very quickly. Normally I would just wait. So I want to put this little heart down. I'm going to put this one down flat. It just looks like it's tucked behind my postage stamp. The postage stamp, I'm just going to go around the bottom and the side. So I could slip something behind there. And I'm going to add some more cheesecloth there because I love it. I'm just going to put a little dot of hot glue there to grab a hold of that. And see, that can be a pocket. This can be a pocket. So let's just do the bottom portion of that little heart. Now what I should have thought to do was make a couple little tags, but I didn't. So then when I put this in a journal, of course I'll decorate inside here and of course the back, but that's the top side for my hashtag Second Saturday Stash/7. And I could come in here and add little words. Of course, I have everything buried. Let's see, let's see, I think I have some of those, oh, this is seasonal. I don't want the seasonal one. These little Tim Holtz, tablets that have the words. And what I like to do, I don't use the black so much. What I like to do is I take my blender, and scruff them up. So then when you peel them off and you want to put them down, they're already pretty much inked, so they're like ready to go. They're ready to use. Let's see if we have anything left. Let's put Lifetime. And I always add a little glue to these. And I usually do the edges because I find that white edge kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And put Lifetime. Secrets. So I hope you found this interesting. Maybe there are a few things that you might not think to do and you could do in your own journals. You scoot this under here. Probably got that on crooked. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I was wondering how that Stabilo pencil would look around some of these other images. I've just been mesmerized by how some of the gals on YouTube use this to create some, some depth. Let's see if this does anything. Yeah, that kind of looks cool, huh? Well, you can always continue to fuss, right? That's one of the great things about art. You can just keep adding. You could add more words. I need to practice this more. I love using this. How about that? I need to get a softer edge. Work it out. Work it out. All right, so that's it from me. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate your watching. Don't forget to check out the other ladies for this month's installment of hashtag Second Saturday Stash Slash. Leave us a comment. It's an open collab, so use these items in a project of your own. Maria has it set up where you can post your projects, and that would be great. We'd love to see what you do with the items we've selected for June. All right, that's it for me. Take care, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.